Okay, so good morning. It's really early, which is good. Should turn on this light so you can see me. I don't even know where the other light is. It's early, and well, at least here it is. Where you are, I don't know. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired, but we have stuff to get done today. Not just guitar building, other stuff as well. And we should really get started. Today we're going to do the inlay on the 12th. And hopefully we will have some sort of Q&A. It hasn't been as big of a deal that I was going to do a Q&A as I was hoping it was going to be. I mean, not a big deal. I mean, I realized that a lot of you are better at building guitars than me, but I was hoping that I'd get more questions. Yeah. It's an experience in humbleness. Anyway, I had a bunch of ideas. You guys gave me some cool suggestions over at Instagram, but I didn't find anything that I felt was exactly what I wanted. And I had a couple of ideas, and I settled on one idea that I have right here, which is making a knight's helmet out of some mother of pearl, I think it's called. And then I noticed that I didn't have any mother of pearl. I had forgotten to buy some, and it's gonna take too long to get here if I order something, and I can't wait with these videos. I mean, I can wait a couple of days or a day or something, but I can't wait, you know, a month. You guys will notice a lack of videos. Maybe, I don't know. So I had to rethink, and I had this idea that kind of into my head, and that's what we're gonna do. I took a picture of my cat, and I'll put some pictures of my sweet little angel right here. His name is Lucifer, and he's adorable. He is such a cute little rascal. The other day, he brought home a bunny. Fucking savage. Just, you come home, and what is he doing? Yeah, he's sitting there staring in the corner, and in the corner, this tiny little baby bunny had curled up and was hiding, and it was terrified and scared, and I had to catch it and go out and release it into the wild, and he was so proud. He was like, hey, yeah, look what I brought home. I brought home dinner. Dinner's on me, boy. Never mind. I took a picture of him anyway, and in Photoshop I turned it into a silhouette of him, which I did by maxing out the contrast. I took a picture of him with a light behind, so it already created this sort of backlit thing, and then I maxed it out, the contrast, in Photoshop, and turned it into a black and white picture, and then I adjusted the levels so that it just became a black silhouette, and then I printed it out, and I have it right here. I cut it out as well, and here I have it. And here I have a tiny piece of copper. It's from a copper pipe, and I just I thought that maybe that would look cool because it's copper, and he is a little red cat, as you can tell from the pictures. And I used this sort of hammer, which is not a hammer, because the hammer is this tool right here. And I used this bowl in here to flatten it out and giving it a nice texture, which I don't know if you can see it on this, but I'm gonna switch camera angles and stuff a little bit sooner than later. Sorry, I'm really tired. We're gonna cut him out of that. I'm gonna try to do that at least. We'll see what happens. And yeah, then we're gonna inlay it into this nice piece of rosewood from the old guitar. Maybe one day I'll tell you about how I destroyed that guitar and had I salvaged the fretboard afterwards, but it's too sad to focus on right now. I don't usually end up like destroying a guitar to the point where it's, you know, better to turn it into toothpicks than a what do you call it, repair it. But when I do it, it's a really, really old guitar that is beyond what we would call vintage. So yeah, if you're interested, I'll tell you at some point of how I destroyed a, well, by now it would be over 100 years old guitar, because it was from 1923. But anyway, I feel like I'm starting to make this, I feel like the end, I started this video in a sort of, not in the vlog way. So let's try to fix that by having a little bit of rambling. So the first thing we need to do when we're going to cut out an inlay, and you can make inlays however difficult for yourself as you want to be. You can go back and forth and inlay things, and hopefully I get some questions that can help you guys. We'll see. But basically it's just a question of cutting out pieces, inlaying them into something, then inlaying that into something, and going back and forth like this. And that's how you can make something that is really, really detailed and pretty and exclusive. We're not going to delve into that super much. We're just going to make a silhouette of my cat on this copper piece, inlay it into this, and then do a border of rosewood. Yeah, because I think that'd be nice, of some sort. I don't know exactly what sort of border we're going to do, because I'm also a little bit winging it. But I need to find my glue, which I don't even know if I have it down here in the basement. I might have to run away and see if I can find it. But I'm going to change camera angles anyways, so I might as well turn off the camera. See you in a bit. Alright, so let's continue. First off, you might wonder what this piece of tape with an X is. And just so you know, I put that there because I'm not going to have the time or energy to really keep track of you guys. I don't want to have to look away every 5 seconds to see if, like, oh, am I in the frame? What is going on? And I don't have time for you guys to get mad at me in the comments, telling me that, like, oh, it would have been nice if I could see anything. I'm trying to do my best, okay? Just know that I'm trying. So here I have this sort of glue stick thing. It's no particular brand or anything. It's not important. We're just gonna dabble some on. Actually, we should probably put it on the paper instead. See, I'm telling you, I'm tired. I've been doing too many things, and none of them have turned out particularly good. You'll stick it down like so. Press it down like so. That's very good. And now we can sort of just try to see if we can cut that out. I probably should put this lid back on. So I'm hoping that we can do that. I'm gonna start out. I have a vintage, which is not, it doesn't matter if it's vintage. I'm gonna see if this one, it's not very good. Probably should sharpen it and work on it a little bit. I'm gonna see if this is, can this cut it? Yeah, it can, but can it cut it well enough? Yeah, I mean, I suppose it can. Ugh, I'm probably gonna end up hurting myself now. I can sort of almost feel it. Can you see me cutting? Damn it, and now I looked over at the camera anyway. I told myself not to bother with it, but I can't not bother with it. Ah! Right. Okay, so the first step is to just get this rough cut, and I'll try to do it with this. It's not, the bigger the piece is, like lengthwise, the harder it is to cut. I need to get a glove, so I'm gonna pinch myself. I can feel it. Yeah, some like this should have, I think it once upon a time, long time ago, had a protective handle, but it just doesn't anymore. You stay away from the paper and sort of cut like a mil or half a mil away from it. There are definitely better tools for doing this. I don't know why I decided to do it this way. But at least the glue is holding up better. I thought I would have more troubles with it. There we have it. Let's see, do we need to cut some more? I mean, I could cut that off as well. And if you're wondering what it is I'm talking about with like, oh, it hurts my hand or something, it's this handle here. Like it when you close it too fast, it pinches you because your hand will get stuck in between here. So it's like, I need to do something about that at some point. I've been aware of it for years and still never get around to it. Alright, so this is my my vice clamp that I use a lot of the time. You've probably, if you've seen any of the other videos, seen it before. And I clamped a piece of wood in it, something like this. You can't see it right now. And I glued this bigger piece on here. This is the cutoff from the fretboard. So if you wonder what it is. Now, I'm just gonna... what is this? This is... I'm just making a little tool to help me, basically. 6.7. And 0.3. Be that accurate with this. So there. Yeah, there. And then we connect. Actually, we don't. Let's not be hasty. Let's come in a bit before that. So 15 on each side. Just because we need a little bit of an edge, I think. I need to clean up in here. I've been going up on this whole build thing. It's been a little bit of a stress for me because I don't know if I really have the time for it. Let's zoom in a bit and maybe you can see what I'm doing. Whoa, look at that. You're actually in frame. It's like the first time that has happened. Sorry. Sorry if I seem salty. It's just sometimes I get comments about like, oh, this video would have been worth something if someone had just bothered to maybe make sure that it was in frame. And it's like, dude, I'm making free videos for you to learn something. You know, I actually don't get paid to make these videos, and I'm making them for fun, and I'm hoping that someone will enjoy them. You don't have to be mean to me. I mean, I get that you don't like that it's in, like, I get that you don't like that it's out of frame, but like, it's not like I did it on purpose. You know? Like Joe Biden would have said, come on, man. Well, that is not very straight, but it doesn't have to be. There we go. Ugh. And in case any of you were wondering, I did actually put on air protection. I glued it to the piece underneath that is clamped here because it's better to have a bigger base. The piece is not that big, it only goes like there, and technically probably would be best if it went all the way. So I had its little wings, but I'm thinking that since it's clamped down to this as well, putting some pressure might still work. And the thing about these is you will damage them and have to recut them, and so this piece is slowly gonna work itself in over the time I use it. So yeah, this is one of those things that you'll have to make, and sometimes you'll have to make it twice. And so now I have it. So yeah. Let's let me just show you before I start a couple of tools that I'm going to be using, and we'll see how many of them I actually use. But I know that some of you are going to maybe want to know. So I'm just going to raise the camera a little bit because I think it's a good idea to do so. And I probably shouldn't have taken out all the tools to do this before actually changing the camera angle, but I just felt like it will be easier. So here's a file, metal file, and it has one flat side right here. So this doesn't cut, but these ones do. I don't think I'm going to be using this, but I might. We'll see as I go along. I use this sometimes for frets as well, because, you know, metal works on metal, or metal for files works on frets. I don't know. Here's a tiny little square one. It has been longer, broken up. It's one of my, yeah, it's just a tiny little square file, cuts on all sides, really small, probably has your measurements, but you just need for like this sort of work, the smallest ones, I'll put it there. Then here I have a bigger round one, and here I have a bigger square one again, and we'll try to use the edges for some of that woodworking that we're gonna be, or metal filing that we're gonna be doing, because it's not woodworking if it's metal. Here's another round, but it's smaller. Yes, this one is smaller. It's not very much smaller, but it's a little bit smaller. I have another one that is the same as this one, but smaller. This rope really needs to get out of my way. But I seem to have misplaced it. It might have just fallen off the shell where I keep it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll work around it. Here, this is like a moon shape, or whatever you want to say. It's flat on one side and round on the other. And I have two of these. They are a little bit different in size, which I don't know if you can see, but they're a little bit different. They also have different lengths of handle, which might come in hand. I'm gonna try really hard to cut this out without being in the way. I'm going to move the camera a little bit, like so, and adjust you down like so. So I'm going to be standing here, facing this way, and I'm going to try to be filing this out. And yeah, I'm going to have ear protection on because I have a little bit of a headache, and the scraping of metal is not a very pleasant sound. So yeah, let's see if we can get some of this out of the way. So I'll put this up to the edge because I don't want it, I want as little of it as possible to be over the edge, and I'll just start hogging away. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but maybe if I go around like that, you can see, like, you see how the metal here is getting closer to the black paper. Actually, the stabbing motion is better for me, but it's not that ideal. I'm just going to take a pause. I'm getting up to that line. I hope you can see if you look at where I was just a second ago. And yeah, and for example, I can't get in with this file into that little under the jaw part, so I might switch out for this one and work my way towards it. And if you just go sort of slow and take your time with it and have a little bit of patience, you're gonna realize that this is one of those things that you might think is super hard to do, and that you might think takes a really long time to do. But actually, it's actually fairly easy to do. Yeah. And again, take away the big bulky things with a bigger one. And then when you get close, you either stop, move on to the next part and remove more of the bulk, or you switch it out for a... Which is just a part of when I took the picture. Like that, and you can see. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to speed this up or I'm going to do anything with it because I kind of like the idea of. First of all, I don't want to edit videos. I've edited enough videos in my life, I feel like. But also, this is. I'm showing you sort of how. Hopefully, you feel like, oh, this isn't taking that long. And it's not that hard at all. I mean, like I mean, I was already tired when I started, but other than that, it's not a big deal at all. And I keep blowing it away and checking it, and it's just because I want to make sure that if this paper for some reason moves, which I don't think it's going to do, because I don't think it's going to do, that I'm on top of it and make sure to either. Because if you go too fast, which is another reason why you should maybe do this by hand and not use power tools, is, for example, if the paper moved, I might cut off the ear without noticing that I'm doing it, and then I would have to restart everything. So now we're basically done. I could leave it like this, but I want to get in that extra little fine detail or whatever. Ah. Whew. I want to just get a little bit closer. I mean, it is a photo, an actual photo of my cat. So if I don't follow it, it will be a cat, but it won't be my cat. And that will defeat the purpose. I can also use, because these are like cone shaped, I can use the very bottom for a bigger circle, you know, like this. And I can use the tip. I want to get in this little piece here, because he has like very narrow face but poofy cheeks. He's adorable, and I want to capture that here, so I want to get that. I think that's good. I'm going to give it a once over, and yeah, we're going to move over to the next part. Yeah. All right. So here is our piece of wood, and here is our piece of metal that is also my little darling angel cat. He is such a little cutie. I'm gonna put this somewhere around there, maybe. Yeah. I don't want like an over dramatic piece. We're not going to inlay this entire piece. So by putting it there, I can save the rest of this vintage guitar rosewood for something else. I don't really... I see some people sometimes make videos and they put like a tiny little thing in the middle of their materials and then they cut everything else away, and it looks maybe nice, but I think you should be mindful of your resources and things like that. So I'm just pressing this in on top here with a little bit of glue, super glue, and yeah, we're gonna inlay this. So let me just grab two things. I have these two knives that I've made. They look a little bit worse for wear right now, so I might have to pull out a sharpening stone, to be honest. I'll put this to the side for now. Wait, let me just do a thing. I'm putting a clamp on it like this, just in case I knock it or something. So I'll put it over there, out of sight, out of mind. Okay, so these are my little knives. I've shown you these before. If you've seen my Guitar Builder's Life Hack, I've shown you these before. They have a flat side, and then they have one flat side with a bevel, like this. I hope you can tell. And I have one for cutting on some things right side, and then I have one the opposite for cutting the left side. So as you can see, they are opposites. I made these out of a big piece of spring steel, I think it was. Something. They're pretty hard and they're pretty good. They're not for like carving out wood or anything, they're just for marking. So you're just supposed to like slice into pieces. But if I, for example, if I have a piece of wood like this, right here, and I want to cut a perfect match to, I don't know, let's say this piece of wood I have right here. I can line this up right here, like so, which I hope you can see. This lies, and the mark I make, unless I like wobble around them, will be perfect. Now, obviously it doesn't matter if you're just gonna inlay this into this, but if you're doing something that is a little bit more complicated, like for example inlay work, then yeah. But I think I need to sharpen them a little bit. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to do that real quick. And also I have this that is also a little bit worse for wear because I've been sloppy on not using my tools for the wrong thing, and I've been sloppy on not on cleaning them afterwards and taking care of them. I think these are all signs that I'm more stressed out about my YouTube videos than I was before I started making them, which is really obvious to some of you. But I used to be really neat freak about all things, and you know, sharpen all my tools every time I used them, and you know, taking hours making inlays and stuff. And now I'm doing an inlay and I don't even remember that I forgot to buy the material I need. So I think I have a sharpening stone. I should have one. Yeah, here I have it, and I need to give it some water. see here now. Just a quick pass will do. I realized maybe I should have, like the first video, maybe it should have also been a maybe the first video should have not just been planning planning out the build, or talking about like planning out the build, but also like working on your tools and making sure you have everything you need, and you know, that's gonna be good enough for now. I like how I made a mark there and then I'm not using it. Yeah. I don't know. Do I need to make a video on how to sharpen your tools? Ah, scheisse, why did I do that? Oh, it had a weird bird there. Just wanted to clean it up. Ah, you ruined my sharpening stone. And on national live TV. Oh well. I'm gonna have to just flatten my stone. But I'm not gonna do that now. I feel like I've already bored you guys enough. Damn it, this one had a weird bird too. What the hell is going on? It's not supposed to have that. I might have to bring out my machine and give these all a once over. Damn, have I really let this go enough that it's that bad? I usually don't have to be this hardcore. Usually I don't have to wet sand anything past 1000 grit, because I usually take care of my tools a little bit better than I apparently have been doing. What the hell have I been using this for? And before you ask me what the grit of this stone is, I don't know. It's too old to remember. There we go. I think that's going to be better. Let's put some more water on this and see if we can fix it. Oh. Well, at least you guys get to see at least some mistakes, but they're not very fun mistakes. Yeah, a little bit more, and I think we're there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through this tool a little bit more and make it, turn it back into being a really good tool. Actually, like, it's surprisingly good for being made out of one of those Allen wrenches or whatever they're called. Oh, shite. Okay. Okay, sorry. Slight detour for 10 minutes. Damn. Yes. Right. Okay. So I'm going to use this to just score around. I'm going to try to keep my hands out of the way. It's the sort of things that I don't usually think about. Another thing that makes it good to maybe not do it in exactly in the middle is I can like hold with almost all my fingers here, which I'm not going to do right now because then you can't see anything. But I can do that, and really hold on to things. And as you probably can tell, if you are paying attention, you can see how I skipped that cut there. And that's because I need to come back and do it with this so that I can get that sharpness in. So. Recut that with this one just to go both ways. And here you can fill in if you do any mistakes or anything, so I mean, like, don't be discouraged, but the tighter fit we can get this, the better. This is where, you know, like, people might look really close at this because they're gonna be like, oh look, a little cat inlay, and then if I have a big blob of super glue that I've colored black or something, then they're not going to be as impressed as if they can not tell. But I just want to tell you another thing as well. If I accidentally score it like this, which I don't know if you can you see that score? Did it write that? Add that? Don't worry, because all of this we are going to sand flat once we're done with it. So I try not to do that, but also if you do, just know that, like, we're working. I think I've cut it all around now, right? I'm gonna go over it again. Something like that. I think I've cut around. So now we just need to pry it up. And usually I just take this and I pry it up, but I feel insecure about my tools being so shoddy that I'm going to use this razor blade. There we go. See if we can remove that bit of glue. And at least some of it. There we go. All right. Can you see that scored outline? I hope you can. Can I zoom in more? Is the question. I can zoom in a little bit. That was probably where I should have been all along. Okay. I'm gonna see if this works. Can I let the wood before the scoring absorb some paint that will allow me to see what I'm doing? Because I hope you can see what I just did, but I'm actually a little bit worried that I might do a mistake right here, right now, because I can't see what I do. I mean, I can see what I do, but let's see, can I? Doopy-doopy-doo. Okay. Yeah. Time to take out some tools and just try to find out what works for us. So, different gouges, different. Let's do another thing first, by the way, because I just realized maybe I should. How thick is this? I feel like it's a mil, but it might be a little bit more. It's exactly 1 mil. Damn, I'm good. Sorry. You might be thinking that I should be using a chisel to remove this, but the chisel is flat, a gouge is round, and a chisel will break the wood. I just want to like do a little bit of a scoop. And we could use a Dremel, actually, which we might end up doing. But I'm going to try to just be kind of careful. And since I scored the line, I can break the wood off there, which I hope you understand what I mean. If you don't, you will have had time to have had asked questions. I'm trying to make a joke there about the future and how I've asked you for your questions for the Q&A, but how the Q&A is recorded a couple of weeks after I do this. Yes, there's going to be weeks before and after. And it's just because I want to give everyone time to actually have a chance at the Q&A thing. Where is the tool I'm looking for? Why am I always looking for tools? When I keep order of everything, and yet I can never find anything. This is the tedious part of inlaying, where you have to be careful about what you do and pay attention and not film yourself. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I hope you enjoy these sort of hangouts that we're doing right now, because obviously I'm putting a lot of work into them, and I'm recording them all beforehand, and yeah, we'll see what happens. It's one of those, I won't know how big of a flop this whole thing is before the videos come out. But I am going to finish the guitar, so you at least don't have to worry about that, because I've decided that I'm going to finish them. And then finish the guitar. It's just one, at least for now. The only thing that is good, I mean, no, not the only thing that is good, but what I'm trying to say is we don't have to go very deep. You know, it's not like we have to sit here and carve out, 40 kilometers of wood. It's just a mill, so we don't have to go deeper than that. And I mean, we should probably go a little bit deeper than that, because we're gonna sand everything flat, and I don't want to sand this to be much less than what it is, if you know what I mean. Like, I feel like 1 mil is thin enough. But yeah. And if you're wondering how I can go back into the line with this tool when I needed to use those tools to cut it first, then it's because this tool is just following the score lines that those established by being able to follow the template. But I couldn't have followed the template with this, because it's has bows on both sides. If you're making something with a little bit more square and flat surfaces, then you can like stab down like that and make yourself either one of these or one of these that is a little bit more like a chisel in nature. I hope that made sense to you guys, because I feel like I told that to you in a more difficult way than it needed to be said. So yeah. I mean, this is gonna be a long video, and this is gonna be a I'm really bad at talking and working at the same time, I'm realizing. It's going to be kind of a boring video, I suppose, depending on how interesting you find this sort of thing to be. And I might not even finish it, to be perfectly honest, today. I mean, I really hope I do, because I kind of don't really have the time right now to be doing what I'm doing. So I hope I can finish this today, because that would be great. we'll have to see. I'll have to take a break at some point. Just to take a look at my phone. And, yeah. But we're cutting this out pretty good. I feel like we're getting along. We're getting along. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Maybe I should have added a microphone to the table, like a contact microphone, and so you could really hear all these little, you know, scrapings and stuff. Could have turned this into like some sort of SMR video, which I tried to make an SMR video. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a complete disaster, because I thought that, you know, relicking a guitar SMR video would be funny. You can find it on the channel. It's a complete disaster. It's like the dumbest thing I've ever made in my life. It's super long, and it has this weird background hum that I thought would be relaxing, because when I looked up frequencies, it's supposed to be the most relaxing frequency, but for some reason, together with everything else in that video, it just became like a nightmare-fueled anxiety thing. And I even think like the comment on the video is like, "This gives me nightmares." It's the things we do and we don't know what we're doing just to get views. It's both sad and hilarious at the same time, but I suppose mostly it's sad. But it's a really cool guitar. It's beautiful. I love it. But I mean, you probably already know about my thoughts and views on relic guitars, so it's no surprise that I like it. Doopy-doopy-doo. Okay, we're getting there. Can I just align this and see if it fits? Yeah, it almost does. It's a little bit. Doopy-doopy-doo. Let's try to clean this up a little bit, and yeah. And the difficult part here is getting enough pressure, but controlled pressure, so you don't, you know, just like that and break everything, because that would really not be good. I would not enjoy that, especially since I might actually hurt myself if I do that. You know, if I lose control over it and it just goes in all directions, I might hurt myself. And yeah, I would like to not hurt myself. I've done it before, and I don't recommend it. So try not to lose control. I do recommend, if you are going to do an inlay like this, that you actually do have a small little router like that, because even if it wasn't doing a very good job, the fact that I could get most of the bulk out of the way and didn't have to hand route that away, I mean carve that away, really did actually help. And if I had kept at it at that pace, I would start to get kind of stressed, but I feel a kind of calm coming over me right now that I think has to do with the fact that I feel like I've gotten further ahead than I think than I have, which maybe doesn't make any sense, but I just kind of was a little bit stressed a couple of minutes ago or something about the fact that I was that I have a sort of deadline for the day for other things, and that I but I mean, you can start to see how it's coming along. I would very much appreciate if you are enjoying these sort of I think I've said this in other videos, and I probably will say it in all videos, but I would very much appreciate if you let me know if this sort of unedited, longer, not speeding things up videos, if you like them. I mean, I can understand if you're like, yeah, I like it, but I don't want it all the time, because I can understand that maybe not everything always have to be, you know, slow. But I mean, I'm always worried that I'm gonna lose people's focus. But I also feel like that the whole like discussion about people's attention span has sort of been blown out of proportion, and that it's more like we have so many good things and we have so many things to do nowadays, and maybe people are more stressed than ever before. But I don't think that people are like necessarily like mentally damaged to a point where their brains can't function. Like, I feel like that's such an over dramatic simplification of things, you know? Maybe, I don't know, I might be wrong. I'm just gonna see how that edge actually is. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think it's not gonna be a perfect match, because I can see here that I have messed up a little bit actually. But I know my hands are in the way, but I'm just rescoring this, just because I feel like I've lost this line here. I just need to make it real again, so that but I have already messed up, which I'm sad to say. I'm sad to say I must be on my way to buy me beer whiskey, cause I'm going far away. I like to think that we're returning when I can. Let me know if you like the Pokes, because I think that was the Pokes. I'm a huge Pokes fan. I love their music, it's so good. It's not for every occasion, but they're real fun. And I wish I could do what they're doing, but it would be very strange for me to do, because it doesn't come natural to me to be singing about drinking and, you know, getting drunk and messing around in an Irish pub. We have an Irish pub, which I don't know if it's very accurate to an Irish pub, but it has that old-time feeling about it, and it's a really nice one. And on St. Patrick's Day, they have a live band that plays. They're really good. It's not like Pokes punk music, it's more folky, you know, with violins and stuff like that. They do play Poke songs, but they will play them less rowdy than what the Pokes would do, which, I mean, they are probably a hard thing to live up to, I can imagine. So maybe that's the reason why. Returning when I can. Damn it, now you got me thinking about St. Patrick's Day and how I haven't celebrated it, and it's like close to 10 years soon? Damn. Or something like that. I don't know, how long has it been? I don't know. Used to really get into it, you know, in my younger days. Oh god, I make it sound like I'm so old. It was probably the best part of... I should probably not say that on camera. But the best part about going to the university was probably going out drinking. God knows it wasn't the lectures. They were not very good. You don't have to be particularly intelligent to be a professor. That's for sure. Damn it. Met some stupid people in my days. It's almost... Oh my god, I can... The things I could tell you. But I won't. Because I don't need that sort of thing in my life. It's over and done. But hopefully I'll never have to put my feet on the campus or whatever it's called again. I don't even know what I'm talking about. What the hell am I talking about? Just saying stuff. Saying stuff so you won't get bored of me. You're probably finding all my ramblings annoying. There we go. It fits, but there's something that is keeping it from falling in, so I need to figure out what that is. I think it might be there. Just give me a sec to press it in. I mean, I think I could force it in actually. I'm gonna give me a sec. I'm just gonna see if I can press it in my vise. Not that I necessarily want to force it, but I just feel like it might be beneficial to me for a little bit of a clamp pressure thing. I just used the clamp to press it in, and I think I just bumped the camera. Sorry. I'm sorry! Frodo, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then I could get it in. And as you can see, that's not perfect. It's actually one of the worst inlays I've made, I would say, which is... I'm sad to say, but I think it might be because I'm sort of rusty. I haven't made inlays in a long time, and it's partly because I haven't been focusing on building guitars for this channel. It was something that I was going to start doing as I got more and more into it. Yeah. I'm gonna move you guys over to the vise. I think I'm gonna do it that way. I'll just show you what I just did, and we'll do it again together. There we have the vise, and here we have the things. Yeah, just off to the side here, so don't worry. And let's see if we can flood this with some glue. Do I? Damn it, don't have a light at the moment. Just press this out, and if you're wondering what I'm pressing this out of, it's a super glue bottle, but it broke. I accidentally glued the back of it off, and as I was lifting it up, I pulled off the back of the entire bottle, so I have to squeeze it out through the back instead of the front. It's ridiculous, I know. The things I do. This is why you shouldn't edit your videos, because if you do, no one gets to know all the incredibly stupid decisions you make. But I'm going to press this in here, or at least I'm going to try to align it. Something like that. Ah, I'm gluing it to myself. And then I'm going to use this as a way to pressure it, and I'm just going to go like this and just press. Make sure it really gets in there, and before the glue has time to set up, remove that, and there we have it. And now we'll move it over here. Yeah, there we have the sander. Just quickly sand this on the sander before the glue has time to set up completely, and the dust will fill up all the cracks, and we'll see what it looks like. And we'll move over here again. I'll see if I can align you up with the X again without too much of a hassle. But there we have it. Take off the ear protection. Okay, so I just sanded it flat, and here we have it. And I hope you think that looks cool. I think that looks pretty cool. It's not perfect, but it's a start. And now I'm gonna take out another super glue, and hopefully I won't accidentally spill glue and glue this down to itself, because that's gonna be annoying. I'll unscrew this and press it in and screw it back on, because the lid is also the puncture for the little thing. And then I'm just gonna press out a little bit of glue and just try to smear it around to just fill up these little gaps. Something like that. And I'm gonna take a break, see if we can get some coffee maybe, and then we'll sand this. And we'll sand this to something like no, first we're gonna cut it out, I think. No. Yes. I'm gonna sand it. But I'm gonna sand it a little bit. Just. I was gonna say I'm gonna sand it like 8,000, but I don't think we're gonna sand it at 8,000. I think we're gonna do. We're gonna sand it, but we'll stay within the hundreds, because we still have to cut out the outside to put it into the guitar neck. Which I hope you understand with this technique what I'm trying to show you, which is you can inlay something into something, then redesign it, and inlay it into another thing, and then redesign it and inlay it into another, and another, and another. And I'm just doing 2 steps, but we'll have like a border of some sort. Yeah. I'm just gonna take a quick break, stretch my neck and stuff, because I've been hunching over this. So yeah, see you in a bit. So I'm back. And yeah, I put down some masking tape over it. It's probably super hard for you to see, but I can see through the masking tape and I can sort of see the copper underneath. And so I was able to draw an outline that is going to be, you know, what I want to keep of the rosewood, because obviously we're not inlaying this entire block. You can do that if you want to. You could inlay sort of like a Les Paul trapezoid thing, and then in that you could have had something else. But I'm freehanding this. I'm doing this. I'm going to take a razor blade and I'm going to just cut out this like so. And I try to have a little bit of fun with it and just sort of go, okay, start out with tracing out where the cat is, my cat, and then just where can you maybe get the shape to be a little bit different. And by doing that, maybe I can get some interesting shapes in. No, you could have. I could have just done like a very basic sort of like, let's redraw with a gap of 1 mil around, and not free-handed like this. But I just feel like, you know, it all depends on you know, the reason you have for what you're doing and why you're doing it. Like, for example, I would probably care more and be more not as playful with this if I was doing it for someone else, especially if they were paying me. I might actually be a little bit more, you know, concerned with making sure that it's exactly what they want or something. But I feel like this is a guitar for myself, and if I don't like it for some reason, I mean, I am gonna like it because it's my cat, but but if it's you know, I can always redo things for myself. That's what I'm trying to say. So there we have it now, and yeah, let's go over to the vise and rough cut this out, and then maybe we'll use the belt sander or something to finalize it. Yeah, I'll pause and realign things. And I'm always cutting away from the grain. Except for right now, but that's because I'm just cutting very far away from the inlay to give myself some more space. Whew. Let's see if we can move this over here. I don't know how I would clamp it down, but something like that maybe. Ugh. Really don't want this to break, so that. And let's see. Please, hey, where I put you? This one is just as much the rascal as the real one. And over to the belt sander real quick. Let's see if we can find it. Ugh. There it is. Let's zoom out a little bit so that you get a better view. And then a start. But I could just on the belt sander. Some of you might not have a belt sander, and you might not realize how good of a tool it is. Let me just realign the camera so you can see what I'm doing, or at least hopefully see somewhat of what I'm doing. Yeah, like you can really get in there and get real close to your lines, which I don't know if you can see, but I'm real close to my lines. I just need to clean up a little bit. And then just feel it with my finger. Because if it doesn't feel smooth, it isn't. And are my hands in the way? I need to take a look. I think we're there. I think we are a little bit up there, I think, actually. A little bit up here. Yeah. Something like that. Let's go back. Okay. So here we have it. And I don't actually have to move the camera more than this, because I'm just gonna... It's really good if it's square along, you know, as well, which is something I probably should have talked a little bit about. So that you don't get any weird gaps. But if we remove the tape and this piece as well, then we have the inlay right here. We have some of the wood around. Give me a quick sec to just sand it a little bit. Whew. So I'm back. Yeah, I quickly put it back on the belt sander and I just flattened it out a little bit because the back it was still flat, but this was an entire fretboard and we're inlaying a fretboard into another fretboard. We'll have a little bit of mishaps if we do things like that, and that is that we will have, you know, we might get to the we might get to the what's the word? The truss rod. That's what I'm trying to say. Which we don't want to do. So I made this a little bit better for that. And now we have the next issue, which we're going to talk about. I'm just going to move things a little bit around so that we can hopefully see each other. Or at least, hopefully you can see. Why did I say see each other? Am I crazy? See what I'm doing is what I mean. For you to see what I'm doing. Because obviously I'm filming it. I'm a little bit of a... Yeah. So here it is. And we need to align it. We need a pen, which didn't I have a pen? Did I use a pen like 5 seconds ago? Feels like it was 5 seconds ago. Right. Here it is. And yeah, just gonna mark out so that we can super glue this back on. Or not back on, but onto the neck. But I hope you can see here how cutting out the cat wasn't that big of a deal. Inlaying the cat into this piece of wood wasn't that big of a deal. The rosewood piece. And then now inlaying this is gonna be, you know, it's not gonna be a big deal either. And yeah, I think this part here I want with the center line, and I want it, I mean, like if I put it like that it will look clunky. If I put it like that, you know, I need to sort of even things out. But I also have to think about the fact that, like, for example, if I put it like here, it will go straight through his eyes, which is not going to look good. So can you see the center line on the video? I hope you can. There's the center line on the guitar. When you do this yourself, you're gonna have... So if I push this down a little bit, like, I don't mind this edge here, for example. I'd rather save him a little bit, for example, than saving that underline. Like, the face and the ear is more important. And I've now sort of wish I had made this either bigger or smaller, I think. I think I'm gonna push... Should I push this down to like here or something? This is problematic. If I do this, the tip is going to be dulled because it's going to be hidden under the fret. And yeah. I sort of understand why people aren't doing these sorts of things for production guitars, because it's difficult. It is really difficult. The inlay is the easy part, but the decisions that come afterwards. Like, I really don't want to cut off his ear. Like, I don't think that's gonna. I should have made him. I think I'm gonna have to place him like there. I should have made this smaller, but I don't think I don't think I have the time to redo it. I'm sorry to say. I'm a little bit miffed. I'm gonna put it there, hold it in place, and I'm gonna just trace around it real quick, just a little bit, give myself some marks. Just a little bit like that. I'm not really happy, but I don't have time to be unhappy. Because I'm running out of time. Sorry. I know this is not a good excuse, because you should never run out of time. But, you know, that's more truth bombs than I'm willing to handle. Me not being smart enough to do this when I have even more time to do it. But yeah, I'm just gonna hold it here for a sec, like this, and then yeah, we're just gonna have to do that. We're just gonna have to have that align, and yeah, I wish I had made it like half this size, but it looks cute. Here's my key. Okay, now comes the more fiddly part of this, I suppose. Actually, it doesn't. Has it dried yet? Is it? I feel like it. Maybe it has. But yeah, yeah. First off, we need these two, and yeah, let's just press it up against this and just carefully mark out in the wood just where the inlay is going. You don't have to press particularly hard or like cut into the wood, you know. I mean, you have to cut into the wood obviously, but you just get a faint outline, you know, that really is yeah. I'm sorry if I sound like you know, a broken record or something, and if I'm making it seem like I'm not enjoying this, because I actually am. Like, if I like to be perfectly honest with you, the two things, if I could pick two things about guitar building that I enjoy the most, it would be making necks and inlays, because it's just like, I'm not saying that I'm, you know, good at inlays, but I like doing little things, if that makes any sense. Like the little things. Things like that. Let's see if we can break this off. Can we? We might have to glue it back on again. You know, sometimes you have to go back and forth. Something like that. Let's just see if we can. Like that, and there you are. Can you guys still see what I'm doing? Oh, and my camera's battery is dying. Perfect. I'm just gonna cut away around it like this. Which I hope you can see what I'm doing. I hope I can get it done before the battery dies. Because I don't like pausing in the middle of work. I don't have to run around looking for a battery. But by coming in at an angle and cutting away the excess, I can get a crisp cut to that line, and yeah. Now I'll just run it a little bit like this. And again, I'm gonna see if I can bulk out the most of this with my router, and just see if I can get it down, and yeah, just clean it up. But if I put this back here, you can sort of tell that it's sitting pretty well there. Not perfect, which is a little bit annoying. Must have done a mistake when I sharpened these or something. Yeah, let's head over to the other side. Alright, I'm back. And it's clamped in here, in the vise, clamped to board, clamped the clamps to the vise, and it's really on there. Well, apparently not. No, it's really on there. So let's see if we can get rid of some wood with my and there we have it. I'm gonna actually leave the fan on because when the bit is too old and dull and needs replacing, you get, you know, burns and it smells. It's not super nice, and it's not something that I think you should do, or that I should do, or that is good for anyone. You could potentially even probably start the alarm, fire alarm, but I need to get this over with. Can't dwell on that. So let's move back over here and see what else we can do with it. Ooh, alright. Let's put the camera down. There we have it. Let's zoom out a little bit, I think. Something like that. That's good. That's good. Oh, yeah. Alright, let's see if we can actually maybe cut this out. And yeah. We'll see how this goes. No. Let's try to get it flush to the bottom, or at least somewhat flush to the bottom. I cut it a little bit deeper, or at least I hope I did, because I'm gonna radius the fretboard, and so I felt like cutting this down and making it a little easier for myself was a good idea, because I need to remove a bulk of this fretboard anyway. Which it's a little bit too thick, you know. Which if you've seen the other videos, you know, because I've told you in those videos that the fretboard was a bit on the heavy side. So yeah. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. I hope you're enjoying this video. I hope it's the non-edited videos work for this sort of content. I know that for, like, example, gaming channels, not editing videos is a really big thing. People like to see everything and not removing things and not cutting it down to a more manageable size. I don't know for this example if I myself enjoy it, but I guess I do in some sense. I don't know, I haven't thought about that too much. Usually when I watch videos, well, first of all, I don't watch that many guitar building videos since I make them myself. I kind of spend my time watching other things, but I try to. I have to think about that a bit. When it comes to like games and things like that, it is pretty fun to see when people are struggling and stuff like that, and I don't want to give away the impression that I don't struggle and that everything is super easy and that this isn't a challenge for me at all. I mean, challenge is maybe the wrong word for what I'm doing right now, because it's not, you know, but what I mean is, it's very easy to watch someone make a YouTube video and feel that they made it seem so easy that you maybe feel like you're bad or something if you can't do it with the same ease. But then, you know, it is a lot of cuts, it's a lot of edits, there's a lot of sped up parts, and I know I do that too, because obviously I do. I mean, I know. But I'm not doing it to make it seem easier than it is, or something like that. I'm just doing it to make the video have more flow. But it could potentially have the effect that it that I'm making things look easier. And that's not my intention with my videos. And if I could give you a reasonable like expectation of how much you're gonna have to delve into something, then I will, or at least I'm trying to do that, so that you can gauge sort of like how much you're actually gonna have to do and how hard it's gonna be for you. But it's hard because I mean, like I've made guitars for a long time now, which I don't know if you know that, but actual building guitars, not just, you know, redesigning them or something like that. I built guitars from scratch before. This is not my first. Hopefully it won't be my last. But we will see. Maybe I'll get fed up with all these crazy things that I'm doing. I'm joking. I know there's always someone who doesn't get when I'm joking, which is also part of real life. A lot of people, when I'm joking in real life, that don't get it. I've gotten into some nasty situations with people actually when they get offended or something because I say something ridiculous, and I think, hey dude, I'm obviously joking, like I'm doing a dance and everything, and you shouldn't take me serious when I'm dancing, because I was actually angry with you. I don't think I would be dancing. And then they're like, oh yeah, you know what, that's probably right. Why would you be dancing if you're angry with me? And I'm like, yeah, see? I'm also usually, when I'm like joking with people, making voices like me, hello there, what you doing? Me? And that's also something that people find confusing. I don't actually know why I'm doing it. Okay. I feel like yeah, this is not good. This is not good, this is not good. Wood has cracked a little bit in two places. We've lost a piece up here. And it's just... the outcut looks very messy for some reason. I thought that I followed it along really well and did a good job of cutting it out, but I feel like now I feel like I'm like someone else did that. Yeah, it's disastrously bad. Holy moly, that's like the worst out. Maybe I need to have my eyes corrected or something. That's disgusting, dude. Are you serious? Oh, I'm so disappointed in myself right now. This is not turning out good. I was sort of happy with the outline on the actual... I mean, like, it's not perfect, but I feel like it was okay-ish, at least. Now I'm doing it on the neck, and I feel like a total noob who's never done an inlay before in his life, and that's kind of strange, coming from someone who's actually done it twice. That was, again, a joke. Just trying to keep the mood up before I get angry at myself for... I don't know what the hell just went wrong. It's like I did draw out it, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did. I am so confused right now. I'm gonna have to inlay a piece of wood there and there. Holy crap, I've really messed up. The gap is so big. I don't know if you guys can see that. I mean, you must be able to see it. But when I press this in, that gap there, that's... How did that happen? Maybe I shouldn't record inlay work. Next time I do an inlay, I'm not going to record it, and we'll see what happens. If maybe I can't have the focus or something. Okay. I don't know. Okay, put in a little bit of glue. And yeah, I'm gonna have to rethink my life, I feel like. Maybe I'm not a woodworker at all. This is now I feel bad for having a Q&A where I'm going to tell you how to do this when I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. You can use any glue here that you feel like. A super glue, for example, that's a type of glue, just so you know. But I'm going to use wood glue, and I'm going to leave it here and take a break. So I'm going to press it into place with a clamp. That's going to help me flatten this out, like so. Just press it in and realign it a little bit, and press it in again, like so. And now it's, you know, seated there. Give me a sec. Take a hammer and a scrap piece of wood, something soft, which I think this is, and I'm just going to tap it a little bit. To just get it in there and get that glue to squeeze out a little bit. Move it with my fingers, and yeah. Yeah. And we're gonna have to do something that I hate doing. I think it's sloppy woodworking. I think it's the sort of thing that people who are lesser than what I am have to do. You might think that that's a really radical statement, but I have standards that I'm trying to uphold in my life, and I'm managing not to do it. And being able to do really good, precise... Never mind. Let's not get into it. Give me a second. I'll be right back. So I took a piece of scrap wood and I sanded it to create some sawdust, sand-dust, whatever you call it. It's not called sand-dust, that's at least for sure. And I'm just going to press it in with my finger, move it about and sort of rub it like this. And yeah. Something like that. Just put down some super glue. And hopefully it will make it look a little bit better. We'll have to wait and see a little bit. I'm a little bit disappointed in myself, because I was hoping that would be a little bit better. Can I move these lights to maybe give me some light on my face? Oh my god. That didn't make anything better. I'm gonna leave it to dry, and then I'm gonna radius the fretboard in the next video or the video after that. We'll see. That's gonna be it for this video. We're gonna have to solve all our problems in another one. I'm just gonna leave that to dry, and I'm gonna go away and cry. And yeah, see you in a bit. Bye.
Stay